Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I am here with the lovely SugarTits. Say hello, SugarTits.
Hello, everyone.
And we are going to do a cringe review. Now, this particular cringe review involves feminist comedian Kate Smurthwaite. Remember Kate?
Oh, God. What's she bitching about now?
Well, it's some debate thing at the Oxford Union, you know, the university in England.
Yeah.
And it's like capitalism versus communism or some shit.
Okay.
It's called Kate Smurthwaite. This house believes the free market is the enemy of freedom and democracy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are not here to analyse the politics of this. We are here purely for the cringe. Because she tries to turn this into a stand-up routine.
I've never heard her make one funny joke in all the videos you've ever done about her.
Well, I mean, she's funny to laugh at, not so much with.
Yeah, but I don't think that's her intent.
No.
It's not what she's putting out there.
Thank you very much. And may I start by saying...
Oh, she always wears that dress. I've seen her wear it like dozens of times. Get a new wardrobe, Kate.
Yeah, she does, and she always wears her hair like that too. She gives off Skeletor vibes to me. Don't you think?
Yeah, kind of.
Welcome to communism. As you may be aware, speakers at the Cambridge Union are not paid, so all of the people here in front of you are giving their time and energy completely for free.
Why does that cuck-looking dude in the front look like he's checking her out?
No, I don't think he's checking her out. I think he's like, oh, this should be good. You'll see their faces coming up.
I was just gonna say how problematic do the main dudes look like, but you know they're all white. But then I remember the guy in the master chair. He's like
he's the diversity.
He's the diversity, but he's ruling them all. One black man to rule them all.
Because out of the goodness of their heart, because they want to help or support for the sake of their own ego, for fun, or possibly for the meal with which we were provided. And I might add that we were each provided to according to our needs.
Was that a joke?
I think that was meant to be a joke, yeah.
She was poking fun at the food.
Well, she wasn't poking fun at the food. She was saying the cafeteria proves communism, guys.
I know a few of our previous speakers seem to think that I'm here to defend Lenin or Trotsky or something like that, which is a little bit like condemning Star Wars because you didn't like Jar Jar.
Oh! Okay, two things. Number one, that was a shit joke. And number two, that was a fucking Star Wars joke. You can't get any more cringe than that. Star Wars is fucking cringe.
Do we actually for a second believe that she watches Star Wars? That she likes Star Wars?
I don't know. She probably watches like the new Disney Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all inclusive. She probably sees like the chick. Was there a chick main character in one of them?
Yeah, Ray. There's been heaps of new chick main characters.
Right, so
that.
the chick main character's got a dude's name.
It's spelled R-E-Y, but... No, it's spelled R-E-Y, but yeah, I guess you could say that's a dude's name.
But anyway, my point remains, you can't get any more cringe than Star Wars. Cringe Lord.
It comes as no surprise to me that a perfectly good idea can be screwed up by a handful of predominantly white men.
Oh, the white men. And again, look at the faces.
Yeah.
Look at this dude on the left here.
Yeah.
He's either trying to squeeze a fart out or he's fucking cringing beyond belief.
Even the girl in the whites, she's like mid-eye roll, where her eyes are sinking right back into her skull.
Yeah, and predominantly white men. You had to go there, didn't you, Kate? Ever heard of Mao? Mao wasn't white. Castro wasn't white.
Can you really say Mao wasn't white, complexion-wise?
Well, he was yellow. Chinese people aren't white.
Some of them are really fucking white.
Yeah,
it
like-
snows in China.
Yeah, if you took them down to like the hardware store and put them up against like a colour swatch, you know, the painting wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are white, but they're not white people. That's not what she means when she says white men.
If you put like racing goggles on a Chinese fella and put him, you know, next to a white guy with racing goggles on as well,
You couldn't tell the difference.
you couldn't tell the difference. That's what I'm saying.
I could provide a counterexample and list some places where capitalism has failed. For example, 21st century Britain. And I would note, actually, that 21st century Britain has seen leadership from both people of colour and from women, and it would seem as though capitalism can steer us into the gutter under a wide range of leadership. So I should be clear that I am not here to advocate for communism. I'm here to advocate for something very specific that I believe still has the potential to work, and that is communism led by black women.
What the fuck?
Wait for it, we're premature. That was meant to be a joke, I'm pretty sure. Let's just back up a bit.
I'm here to advocate for something very specific that I believe still has the potential to work, and that is communism led by black women. Most people in this room have been taught that free markets mean that you will be compensated for your labour. But in actual fact, the vast majority of useful labour that takes place around the world is not paid. The caring work that goes on all around the world, providing and preparing food, building and maintaining homes, the vast majority of that is done unpaid, overwhelmingly by women and by people of colour.
What?
Women have houses, women have lives, women have cars, women have nice clothes. They may not earn a paycheck, but stay-at-home mums, get stuff.
Isn't it kind of just more of a traditional contract and understanding between a husband and a wife? Is that, fuck you. You fucking motorbike. Cunt. Why has he got to rev it? You're parking the fucking motorbike. You have to rev it while you're in park? Just, hello everyone in the street, I'm home.
The vast majority of paid work, on the other hand, contributes absolutely nothing to our society.
Okay. Tell that to a neurosurgeon, or a fucking nurse, or a lawyer, or a surveyor.
Any of you planning to leave this institution and go on to work in accountancy, in legal work, for an insurance company, or in managing parking, or invigilating exams, or anything like that will effectively be simply fidgeting around deciding where the spoils of other people's labour should be shared more or less fairly among the rest of our society.
What is she talking about now?
She's saying if you're going to be an accountant or a lawyer, you're basically worthless and useless. You contribute nothing to society. Says the unfunny feminist comedian who no one laughs at ever.
The vast majority experience the spoils of the free market as nothing more than the basics, if they are very lucky, necessities that they need for their lives. And you might think that because you're sat here, you're among that small privileged few who will get to enjoy the luxury of choice, and you might do. But let me remind you that the seas are rising. The ground is genuinely slipping away from underneath our feet. And at any moment, even the most privileged amongst us can find ourselves lying on our back, shouting, a horse, my kingdom for a horse.
What the fuck does that mean?
No, she was talking about climate change there for a bit, I'm pretty sure. The way she's correlating her points from one point to another point to another point, it's so scattered. It is so difficult to follow her mental brain. I'm trying really hard to follow her, and all so far I've gotten is mothers at home aren't getting paid, lawyers and whatever, they're redundant. Climate change is happening. You could all die any minute anyway.
And something about your fucking horse. Because a horse, of course, is a horse of... What the fuck is that?
Oh, a horse is a horse, of course.
Yeah. Right, where am I? I actually need my glasses, don't I? Right, good. Okay. Truth is that the vast majority of people who do support free markets in this room do so because you essentially have not really been exposed or taught about very much else. So I want to take you somewhere a long way away from that, away from the influence of TV. I spent a part of last summer in the desert at Wadi Rum in Jordan with Bedouin tribesmen.
Really?
She does understand that Bedouin tribesmen are very patriarchal. Yeah. They probably fucking tolerated her. Get this bitch out of our desert.
I'm pressing X to doubt. I don't think she spent the summer with a tribesman.
Can you imagine that? Her in the middle of the desert lecturing Bedouin tribesmen on feminism.
Yeah. I bet she fixed them.
Oh, bullshit.
And while I was out there, he turned to me and he asked me, because I have, as you've probably picked up, a sort of a bad girl vibe going on.
No, you don't. You've got a cringe lord vibe.
A bad girl vibe.
Who calls themselves a bad girl?
I know.
Imagine me saying, yeah, because, the way people see me is bad boy. I've got a bad boy vibe.
I don't think she's even trying to be funny. I think she really means it.
I know.
She actually sees herself as that. She's not being sarcastic.
He asked me whether I had ever been to prison. And I said, no, I've never been to prison. And as a kind of semi-joke, I said that they never caught me. And he said, what did you do? Did you rob a bank? And my instinct was to say, no, I've never robbed a bank. But then I thought about it and I said, no, I have robbed a bank. I worked briefly for a bank when I finished at university, and I took a lot of pens from that stationery cupboard.
I think that was meant to be a joke too. I can't be 100% sure. But
This girl in the white behind her is getting more and more pissed off. She's like, if I have to sit through another one of these so-called jokes, I'm going to kill myself.
So I said, I have robbed a bank, but only pens. And then I said, but on the other hand, financial markets go up and down. Your money in the bank could be worth nothing tomorrow. You know, it's not what's important to you, but we'll always need pens. And he looked at me like I was an idiot.
He would, dude, wouldn't he?
oh god,
You are a comedian in your home country? I do not understand.
that sounds like a Japanese person.
No, it doesn't. That's giving off like Bedouin.
No, he would have
vibes.
been like, you steal the pen from the bank.
What?
Yeah, that's.
What even is that?
It's an African tribesman.
African.
And he looked at me like I was an idiot. Like I was saying the stupidest thing he had ever heard in his life. And he said, we don't need pens. And I think that we need to start looking at things in a completely different and completely radical way. The truth is that the vast majority of what you have been taught here at Cambridge is entirely useless.
Whoa! The vast majority of things you've learnt here at Cambridge are entirely useless. What a ballsy thing to say at their seminar, at their debate thing.
You're giving a speech at Cambridge University.
And again, speaking of useless, what about you, Kate?
Does that mean your whole lecture is useless right now? Because you're teaching. You're supposed to be teaching these students.
Yeah, and like all the cringe comedy and just useless input you have on TV segments and shit.
All it serves to do is reinforce hierarchies that actually don't help anybody and don't serve anyone. Almost everything you've been taught here is entirely pointless. I will make a brief exception if you happen to be a postdoctoral neuroscientist.
Oh, okay, she acknowledges the neuroscientist.
Not the physicists, not the architects.
Not like the engineers and shit who like build society.
You're a fuckwit.
If, however, you insist on believing it, if you accept this notion that somehow what has brought you here and what you've been taught here furnishes our society with a collection of the greatest minds among it, then isn't it somewhat devastating to realise that those brilliant, super-educated minds have spent 3 hours bickering about the meaning of words and some historical data that doesn't prove anything about what might or might not happen in the future? For all the chatter and clever points and snarky remarks, not a single mouth has been fed as a result of our dialogue this evening, except, I might add, mine.
Another cafeteria joke.
I'm running out of steam, Bearing.
Yeah, so am I. It's
This is
nearly
almost over
finished.
because she's fucking wearing me down.
So in conclusion, thank you for the dinner, and may you all go to hell.
Well, at least that one got a clap and a minor laugh. May you all go to hell. Good joke.
She's a bad girl.
She's a bad girl.
I'm a bad girl. I'm a bad girl comedian. And I hate free market. And the whole world's gonna die.
And a horse is a horse, of course. Anyway, that was Kate Smurthwaite dribbling some shit. We'll see you in the next one. Catch ya.